I believe that finding what makes you unique and embracing your weird quirks will help you rise above the noise. What's going on? You're listening to episode 58 of the Perspective Podcast, and I'm your host, Scotty.D.Russell of Perspective Collective. This show is about carving out time to build something for yourself and about being open to seeing things from a different perspective. I want to share what is and isn't working for me, along with sharing my guest point of view. And holy cow, we're reaching the end of 2017. This year has flown by, and if you've stuck with me throughout the year, you know that it's been a roller coaster ride with plenty of good sprinkled in with a dash of bad, more than just a sprinkled and a dash. There's been some really shitty low times. And somehow when writing this episode, I described this as shit and sunshine, and it stuck with me. I'm a big advocate for end of year recaps and reviews, summaries, as I want to channel everything I learned and pluck away the takeaways and then share them with you. The goal of this is to get you thinking about your year as a whole and how you can plan to dominate in 2018. You can follow along and read the show notes in a blog format at perspective-collective.com/58. And if you think someone can find value in this episode, please give it a share on social media. It's because of your word of mouth that the show keeps growing, and I am just crazy appreciative. Finally, connect with me and check out all the episode artwork at Perspective Podcast on Instagram. Let's get into the show. Want to know one thing that absolutely terrifies me? It's looking back a year later, realizing I made no significant growth in my life. For me, the best way I know how to measure this is by setting goals, reflection, and by documenting or journaling it. 2017 was a massive mindfuck, yet it provided some of the best highlights of my young creative career. And I like to call this now shit and sunshine. 1 month I'd feel depressed and worthless. The next month I'd feel loved and fulfilled. 2018 is going to be a massive year. I could feel it. I know this, I feel it, and I look forward to it. But I also understand it's going to have its challenging times, especially when I turn the big dirty 30 in July. But that's a ways off. I don't have to worry about that at the moment. Something I want to encourage you to do is take the shit in stride so you can appreciate those sunny days when things go right. Take a moment to reflect, celebrate, and even document it if it helps you see the growth. Ensuing are 12 lessons I learned or lessons that enlightened me in 2017, and I know for a fact some of these will benefit you too. Starting off with number 1, getting out of my comfort zone. I've shared it before, but I grew up terrified of sharing my work. However, getting uncomfortable and sharing my work through Instagram around the age of 25 absolutely changed my life. From there, it challenged me in blogging, then speaking, teaching, and now podcasting. In 2017 especially, I started intentionally seeking out or taking on opportunities that not only challenged me, but scared the shit out of me. If something you want to do scares you, I believe it's your intuition pulling you towards the person you're supposed to become. Number 2, building relationships and pouring into others. They say it's not about what you know, but who you know, and I'm learning that this is a hard fact. Yet many people approach this in a skeezy car salesman fashion. I repeat, don't see people as connections and stepping stones. Instead, pour your full self into a relationship. Find ways you can provide value to them without expecting anything in return. Be a good listener, encourage other people, share other people's work, or provide insight or advice whenever you can. You have no idea what that relationship or interaction can lead to. You could make a lifelong friend, a new customer, a brand ambassador, Or this person that you interact or engage with, they maybe could even be hiring you someday down the road. So pour into people and focus on building relationships. You never know what those fruits of your interaction can lead to. Number 3, the power of staying in front of people. I'm big on this. Consistency, consistency, consistency. I could stop there. You'd get the point, but honestly, you can't whine and complain that people don't notice what you're doing when you're not showing up and you only show up when it's convenient. You have to stay in front of people, especially on platforms where the attention is. Focus on kicking out content, building influence, and finding your voice a minimum of once a week. Because to be honest, every other week, it's all right. But like once you start doing once a month or once whenever you feel like it, it's just not going to stick. People won't notice. The catch, though, is to enjoy what you create. Pour your most authentic self into what you create and discover how you can deliver value to people, whether that's through entertainment, inspiring, teaching them something. That's the catch to, staying in front of people with content. Number 4, writing down measurable goals with deadlines. I'm going to be super honest and frank with you just because this is how I used to handle it too, and I never got anything accomplished. Your goal isn't shit until you write it down. And next, amplify that goal by attaching some type of deadline to it. When you write down your goal, it adds a new level of accountability. Like you wrote this down in your own handwriting. It means something. It's not just something you verbally say that you can, pull out of that doesn't mean anything down the road. And adding a deadline to that just creates another sense of urgency of when you're actually going to get it done by. Make your goal measurable by having milestones along the way so you can actually track your progress. For example, I started off the new year with a goal of speaking 5 times by mid-December. And I tracked my progress. By quarter 3, I was already up to 3. And within the 4th quarter, I think I'm at like 7 or 8 speaking engagements this year. So, I beat that goal and I was able to track it throughout. So write down measurable goals and tie a deadline onto it. Number 5, self-awareness. And for me, this self-awareness was about doing less but better. You've heard about knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, and this is crucial. I'm extremely good at prioritizing and scheduling my day. Like I'm really good at it. And that's why I think I get so much done outside of a day job. Essentially, I feel like I thrive in chaos, having a million things on my plate, or so I think. My top weakness is having Superman syndrome. I feel like I can do everything, which results in above average results, unnecessary stress, and neglecting people who matter most in my life. I'm aware of this more than ever now, but acting on it in 2018 is the next step. I'm a constant work in progress, and doing less but better while focusing on the essentials is my main objective moving forward, not just to 2018, but life in general. What is it? Work smarter, not harder. And I've just been working way too hard and not very smart. Number 6, halfway there, investing in yourself. When you invest in yourself, it'll be either with money or time. Money isn't always available, but you can always create more time to invest in yourself and your future. When money is available, you know that I'm all about seeking out conferences, some type of workshop, or some type of event, whether it's local or out of your city or state. Money is going to also help you pay for online courses like Skillshare, Lynda, whatever courses people offer out there too. Creative Live, that's another one. It's going to help you pay for whatever books that you need, anything like new equipment, like for me, podcast equipment, etc. When money isn't abundant, you'll need to invest your time. For example, listening to free resources like podcasts, watching tutorials on YouTube, or reading articles or blogs on the interwebs. Investing time into daily practice is really the key to benefiting the most out of any of the money or other time that you invest into these areas. So, it all boils down to daily practice. How many reps are you getting in? So number 6 is investing in yourself. Number 7, this one is big for me that I learned this year. It's stop complaining and start evolving. I've been bitching nonstop about the Instagram algorithm all year long. My following, in air quotes over here, has actually decreased pretty significantly. Even though I was consistent, I increased my quality, and I found ways to add more value to my content. Instead of nutting up, adapting, and evolving with the platform, I complained publicly, especially on social media, a lot in Twitter, and a lot to other people who I know were kind of going through the same thing. But over the last month, and with some help from a good buddy, Joey Bearbauer, I've been doing my research. I've changed my strategy and started growing again. However, it took investing time and being open to change. So that ties into number 6 with investing time or money. The only thing certain in life is that things will always change. And are you going to be the person bitching and complaining, or are you going to be the person that evolves and adapts and grows? Choose the latter. Number 9. We're on number 8. The value of collaboration. In my first year of lettering on Instagram, I sought out other artists to collaborate with that had similar audience sizes to mine. It taught me how to be proactive and work with someone on the other side of the globe. Mostly it showed me the value in tapping into each other's audiences. In 2017, for example, I had the opportunity to team up with Deneen Pottery in Minneapolis, I believe, to be more specific. They have a massive coffee mug enthusiastic community, which I was oblivious to. It's like a whole nother world. And Deneen and we went to back-to-back mug releases. The first release was 200 of this Space Cat design, and that went so well that we did 400 of the next design, which was that UFO cat. And the first round of 200 sold out in under 30 minutes. And that second round of 400 sold out in under 20 minutes. So not only has Deneen acquired business from some of my followers, but they also gained followers from my audience. But at the same time, I've been able to tap into this coffee community and build some amazing relationships with their following. And within this community, people have not only become friends of mine, but many of them have supported my weird cat and pizza related products as well. So keep in mind that collaboration should always share a mutual benefit. Number 9, reach out and reconnect. This one ties into self-awareness, as I noticed my circle of local friends was getting smaller and smaller in 2017. When you become laser focused and borderline obsessed with your dream, it's easy to forget and neglect those around you. And this is something I'm guilty of with my family and my closest friends and even my wife, as I mentioned in episode 48. If someone comes to mind you haven't talked to in a while, be proactive. Reach out and reconnect with them. Ask them how they're doing. Tell them you've been thinking about them. Maybe ask them to get a coffee, meet face to face, or just jump on a FaceTime call or Skype. Don't get so wrapped up in your internet life that you lose sight of your real life. Number 10, not taking myself too seriously. I've been trying to find my voice for a few years now. And early on, I mimicked the voice of people who had a heavy influence on me. If you know me personally, I am a complete goofball, but that rarely shines through in my writing and my speaking. Yet, it's all too easy for me to show it in my artwork, hence why I draw so much damn pizza. It's fun, it allows me to not take myself too seriously, and I believe that finding what makes you unique and embracing your weird quirks will help you rise above the noise. Try not to take yourself too seriously all the time and let your freak flag fly. Number 11, don't be afraid to experiment. Again, something I've been harping on all the time. I had a hard time this year feeling like I needed to be a super curated version of myself and show one specific style. But for me, I love to experiment. I like to try different things. I like to dabble in colors sometime. Maybe I'm just doing a lettering piece, or maybe this piece is lettering illustrations. Something I've really pushed myself to do now is do more digital work in Procreate on the iPad. I'm a huge believer in that you don't have to have a specific style. I don't think it's the case. Coming up, I'll be having an episode with my buddy Mark Canesso, whose style is all over the place. Same thing with Eric Marinovich. That dude is all over the place. I've talked about it before. And these people are super successful lettering artists and designers. So don't feel like when you scroll through Instagram and you see these hyper curated accounts that their feed and every photo looks the exact freaking same. Don't feel like you have to do that. You don't have to do that. Your style and curation could be like mine. I'm consistently inconsistent. You never know what you're going to get from me. And I'm learning that that's what I like. You know, that resonates with me, and that's what I'm going to stick to. But at the same time, if you have found a specific style that you enjoy the shit out of and people resonate with it and you can grow an audience on top of it and you kind of want to stay in that little bubble, then roll with it. But don't be afraid to color outside the lines, I guess, and do something different. Number 12, thanks for sticking with me on this one. Don't be a dick. This should go without saying, but you're going to get a lot farther in life by being a kind person. I know dickheads can excel, but that doesn't have to be you. Choose to be empathetic, encouraging, respectful, and appreciative. You know, have some gratitude. I feel these are the truer ingredients for accomplishing great things while enjoying your life and the people in it. In conclusion, you know, looking back on this year, what's your growth? For me, documenting and journaling my progress helps me see where I was, where I am now, and where I'm going. As you close out 2017, I want to challenge you to look back on the year and see where you made growth. Also, acknowledge areas of where you can improve. If your year is like mine, it's a mixture of shit and sunshine. And I didn't mean to rhyme that intentionally. So whatever growth you had or wish to see in 2018, focus on putting your best self into your work and get after it. So there you have it, a full 365 days summarized into 12 takeaways. I easily could have thought of more, or I could have drilled down to less, but each one of these really hit home with me, and I think you can relate. I hope it gives you a little relief knowing that you're not the only one who deals with shitty times in your life, so appreciate those times of sunshine when good things happen. So maybe that sounds cheesy, but whatever. I'm going to roll with it because it means something to me. Next week, I'm dropping an episode that will hopefully set a fire under your ass to push yourself and your work to the next level. What I mean by pushing it to the next level, maybe that means making your first product like Dustin Lee's episode was about in episode 55, or starting some type of new side project, reaching out to collaborate with others, or maybe you're taking on a new venture like blogging or speaking or doing some type of video. I want to encourage you, as this year closes up in the next couple days, take a moment to reflect on 2017. And then if you got time, which you should make time, jot down a few things you want to accomplish in 2018 and how you plan to do it. All right, continuing this new tradition of sharing someone's work that I think is killing it in the creative industry, I'm calling this your weekly dose of inspiration. And this week, I want to share a relatively new friend of mine, Ari Wosty, who crushes shit out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. She specializes in lettering, stylizing, and photography, and has worked with major brands like Yoplait, Cheerios, and Luna, to name a few. Her feed is a sight for sore eyes, if that's still a saying. Otherwise, I'm just going to say that her feed is lit, as you can expect some dope lettering, food typography, and absolutely amazing photos. So check her Instagram handle at Ari Wosty, at ARIWOESTE. And if you're enjoying what you hear and you want to support the show, I have two ways you can make that happen. First off, the supporters over at patreon.com/perspectivepodcast are making a massive difference in allowing me to elevate this show, especially going into 2018. With as little as $1, $3, $5 per episode, you can help me keep up with audio hosting, web hosting, recording software, equipment, etc. Not only are you helping the show grow, but I'm trying to give back and give you some rewards like bonus mini episodes, discounts on my shops, critiques on your works, you name it, I'm trying to do it. And if you have something that you'd like to see as a reward, please, I'm always open to doing new things and giving you what you want. So hit me up with that. Again, you can invest in the growth of the show by visiting patreon.com/perspectivepodcast. Another way to support the show is by leaving a quick ratings and a review on iTunes. It not only helps the show get discovered, but it gives me an opportunity to give you a nice little thank you plug like this week's rating and review. This one comes from my homie Taylor Cashton. Taylor says, Scotty is one of the few go-to audio subscriptions for a variety of occasions. Want to hear a genuine, real, not canned questioned interview with an industry buff? Perspective Podcast. Taylor, I appreciate you, man. I kind of butchered that read, but you know I appreciate the shit out of you, dude, and all the support you have given me over this past year for sure. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you. As I sign off, I need to give a huge thank you to my new friend, Áine Brennan, all the way from Ireland for editing the show. I'll plug her in the show notes as well. And finally, I need to give a big shout out to Nick Jenkins of Blookah for all the dope theme music you hear on the show. Check him out at SoundCloud or on Instagram at Blookah. That's BLOOKAH. And as you finish your week out strong, I want to encourage you to keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and keep creating. You got this.